Hey guys, what's going on? This is Carlos, CEO of GAR Capital. Welcome aboard to our morning note. Let's go ahead and put everything in kind of context, see what's going on, right? Yesterday I had an IG live video kind of talking about markets and everything like that. I also posted the daily trader tip talking about your long-term investment. I know I've gotten a lot of personal messages, texts, DMs, everything. There's just regular people that don't know anything about the market, which I completely understand. They just work their regular job, but their 401ks are getting hit. And I tell them, unless you plan to retire tomorrow, this year, next year, it really doesn't matter what happens. This is what the market is. It doesn't just go all the way up. It's fluid. Everything just moves. So I talked about in the trader tips is that, when you invest money long term, guys, it's money that doesn't exist for at least 5 years. Understand that. So if you're not selling when we hit all-time highs, you're definitely not selling when we're panicking. So it kind of, keep that in mind moving forward. So this is right now trader's paradise, guys. This is what option traders love. This is what we've been doing. We probably had one of our best weeks of the year in a really, really red market. So think of it that way. Everything's in context. So again, if you're an options trader, you are loving this movement because you can play the volatility while your portfolio takes hit. Yes, my portfolio is taking a hit too. I think I'm down in my portfolio for the year about 11%. I can live with it. That money in my mind does not exist. I'm not touching it. I still put automatic deposits in it. Who cares? Let it ride. And I still have cash on the sidelines ready to go, so I'm not really worried. But with that being said, let's talk about the options front. Let's see what we can look at. Let's see what we could do. A couple of levels I want to take a look at with you. E-mini futures, as always, right here, bottom center. And you can see right around 2,900 we tapped below. That's a very big psychological number because that's 100 handles, 100 points away from 3,000. 3,000 took us a while to get to, and it just sliced through it like a hot knife through butter. So what are the levels I'm looking at now? So right now, since we have to put everything in context, I look at the daily chart. The daily chart is key. So 2909 is where we are right now, kind of hovering around 2900. I'm expecting today a red market because I think Friday we should get that full wash. Hedge funds may just close their positions or sell, their profits. I mean, if you are a long-term holder for the past 5 years, you're in profit and you're just taking profits of anything, even if you're selling now, 5 years ago. So you're still up. So I wouldn't be surprised hedge funds and pension funds are rebalancing, kind of getting a little more defensive, dividend names, utilities, bonds, cash, gold, example. But even look at here today, guys. Dow futures are down 391, top left corner. Nasdaq down 140, S&P down 49, and Bitcoin is down. Obviously, bonds are still getting bidded. You can look at gold futures are red, and silver is red. So you're thinking to yourself, well, shouldn't gold go up with the market going down? Yes and no. Again, it's all demand. I mean, usually you get the case that gold is your defense, but again, it's been moving up so fast. We were looking for that level of 1,500 just 2 weeks ago. We sliced through that. Now we're at 1628. So it could be near overbought territory. I'm not saying gold shouldn't be bought, not for options, but for long term. Yeah, I still have gold in my safe, and I still own it personally. So here, looking at the market, what to expect. I mean, again, I think we get that little bit of a flush. The big support level on the S&P futures is 2829, which is around the S&P 500. 2829 should be that level, in my opinion. That should be the second to lowest level of 2009. The lows of 2019 is 2726. I don't think we get that today, obviously. I think 2829 could be in play. That's another 100 handles. We had 100 handles yesterday. That could be that big wash on Friday. We could play some puts. But if you play some puts, guys, let me make this perfectly clear. Do not play puts for today expiry. Why? Because you can get a bounce with any kind of tweet, any kind of press conference, and your premiums will get crushed like that. So you're giving away money. If you plan to do puts, guys, go next week expiry, next Friday. It costs you a little more, but you have a little bit of protection of longer time frame because then the time decay will not eat you up. So again, if you're still bearish this market, you want to add some protection on SPY, Qs, IWM, whatever, and you want to get some puts, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do that for next week expiry, not today expiry. Don't gamble your winnings this week. Don't gamble your profits. Again, guys, it's not a casino. Feel free to be defensive a little bit. If you want to go puts, go next week, not today. So I really want to reiterate that. So with that being said, again, I'm still looking at the three names, Qs, IWM, and SPY. That's my short positions in regards to what I want to play. Everything is going down. There is nowhere to hide, let's just say. That's what Bank of America is saying. So again, there's nothing to play calls here. I mean, you can, but not for today expiry. I mean, mRNA, everyone's been talking about it. You know, oh, that's the one with the vaccine. And we got out at 38 because we had calls. We had 87%, and now we're at 23. So you got to be careful. As quick as it moves up is as quick as it can move down. So there's other names you could play. Everyone's been talking about Zoom. ZM, yes, ZM, Video Communications, up, but again, down pre-market. Again, so you want to be careful. I would rather ride the downside with puts than just look for something to buy calls. That's just what my opinion is. Looking at Apple, again, I nibbled on Apple here and there. I bought some stock here and there. Nothing wild, a couple of shares a pop, nibbling a little bit here and there, averaging a good price, and we're still going down. We're at 261 now. If we look at Apple on a daily chart, again, this will give you a lot of context. Look at the rise from last April, 169. We're at 273. I bought Apple personally at 130. So again, I'm still way in profit. So I have nothing to worry about. I don't mind. And I want to own the company. They're going to make money for the time moving forward, whatever virus happens. But again, on the daily, we slice through the 100-day moving average. Your next support level will be the next fib, 250, 115. If you wanted to take a look at what fib lines we have, we went from the lows of around 145, which was in 2019, to the highs, which we broke at 327.85. So again, 250, 115 is your support level. The next level of support, could we crash below it? Yeah, we just crashed below 2,900 on E-mini futures. So again, you're still getting that. You're still getting that little bit of a push to the downside, a little more fear. But keep in mind, guys, try not to catch a falling knife. Don't try to do puts here. I mean calls, thinking that there's a turnaround. You're just gonna blow money. Ride the wave, guys. If you see red on your screen, just ride puts. Just not for today expiry. So leave it there. James says first. Marcial, good morning. Yes, good morning from Sweden. Alexander. Chapinka, yes. Hair loss treatment says, hey, Carlos, what do you think is the sentiment behind gold going down? I just talked about the gold thing. The gold, guys, again, it's all demand. Again, we rose up so fast on GLD. So you got to understand, this kind of movement really doesn't last long, especially in gold. It's too much demand. I think the only thing that's been holding up that kind of demand has been bonds for the most part. But looking at it here, you could see this little bit of a downtick. If anything, you're getting the descending wedge here. So keep that in mind. I really wouldn't want to go ahead and trade calls on GLD. If anything, you probably want to get puts here if you wanted to. I'd rather it's kind of counterintuitive. For that, I'd rather just do puts on Qs, SPY, and IWM. IWM is the Russell 2000 small caps. They have been underperforming anyways. Qs is tech, and SPY is the broader market. So again, kind of stick to what you know. Stick to the three. Try not to get cute and try to call a bottom or a top on anything else. I mean, yes, you have NVIDIA, you have other names. There's tons of alerts out there, sure. But I think with those three, you're going to get the most volume, you're going to get the best spread, and you're going to get the best movement. Individual names are beholden just to that name. So again, you just have to be careful. Stick to the three that you know. Another one too, Microsoft. Again, everything has been taking a hit, guys. And you think the only thing that's probably up, even Gilead. Gilead was up to 81, now it's down to 70. So again, these kind of movements don't last. It's a red market, people are taking profit. Not a full liquidation, but close. So, again, you see red on the screen, just ride the wave to puts, guys. What do you think will happen under March 20 triple wedging, bearish or super bullish? Chris, that's a really good question. No, obviously, I think we just have to kind of get out of this little funk that we're in due to the coronavirus and fears. This is all fear, guys. Just keep in mind. These companies still make money. Maybe valuations were a little stretched, but because of low interest rates, I mean, where else are you going to put your money? I mean, now 10-year bonds, if we go ahead and take a look at it, I can go ahead and take a look at bonds together. Let me see if I can bring up CNBC. CNBC, I'm going to get the 10-year bond. Right here, I just have the 10-year bond futures. I don't have the yield there. So if we take a look at bonds, right now we're sub 120. That's the lowest in the history of the corporate bonds. So you understand everyone's flight to safety is to bonds. 1.2% on a 10-year note is ridiculous. It's very low. But the silver lining is you can refinance your mortgage if you have a mortgage. So you're going to get really low rates right now if you wanted to refinance your mortgage. Just a heads up. Appreciate the pronunciation. You're welcome. Celine says about Microsoft. Microsoft, again, I hope you're not looking at calls because there's nothing to be looking at calls. But let's go ahead and put everything in context. On the three-year chart, you could see, again, just an incredible run-up. I still own the stock, and I've been owning it. I think I bought in like around 89. It's at 158. I'm still at profit, so I don't mind. 143.61 is the downside, kind of the next support level on this fib, and I maybe want to nibble some. Maybe 150 level, I would probably take a look and start looking at buying some more. Again, I love Microsoft long term. Again, these are the names you know that are going to last for a long time. You know these names. Microsoft still makes money. Apple makes money. Again, sometimes price does not dictate value, and that works both ways. So keep that in mind. Sometimes, I'll give you an example. Let's say a guy who's going through a divorce or a bankruptcy, and he has a nice Mercedes, and he needs to really get rid of it. He's going to lower the price to get that cash quickly. So kind of think of it that way. Maybe the Mercedes in your mind is worth 30, but he needs to get cash quick, and he says, I'll sell it to you for 20. I just need the money. That's kind of where people are. Let's see. Yeah, TLT. TLT is up huge. That's another question here by Chris. And you can see, again, just the flight to bonds. And you'll break out on every single metric. This is literally the lows of the 10-year yield in the history of the United States. 1.2%. It's absolutely insanity right now. So again, I don't know, if you're an institution and you're looking to protect yourself, government bonds are probably the way to go, but you're getting such a small yield, 1.2%. If you're an individual, why would you? It really doesn't make sense. Again, if you want to protect yourself, just hold cash. But bonds, I mean, I guess if you want to get that return, but 1.2, without putting a CD, I mean, that's really low. Is it time to buy Bitcoin now? David, I've been buying Bitcoin every week now for about a year, and that has not changed. Every week I buy a little bit of Bitcoin, no matter what. That's automatic. I don't care what the price is. I want to accumulate Bitcoin. I keep on buying some. Again, little nibbles over time equate to a bigger slice. I would buy BTC before having and after when it crashes. Again, I would just go ahead and do that. James, pay for good internet. I do. I actually have 100 megs. I don't know why this is going so slow. I don't know what to tell you guys. Again, 100 megs is what I pull in my place, so sorry. CNBC James Buller says rate cuts possible only virus in the pandemic. I don't know what a rate cut will do. I mean, rates are already low. Again, guys, the Fed is not going to save anybody from the disease. I don't know why they think rate cuts are going to make a difference. It really doesn't. So just keep that in mind. Watch list of the day. Again, the same three: SPY, Qs, and IWM. And those will be for next week puts, not for this week. Understand that, not for this week. It's just not worth playing. It's just not worth playing. Same day expiry, you're going to get crushed with any kind of boost or any kind of Trump tweet or Fed talk or emergency this or emergency that. Stick to what you know. Again, you see the volume, you see the movement to the downside. Yes, you still want to stay puts, but stick with the big names, guys. This is the ones that are going to make you the most money, in my opinion. So just understand that. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get back with my team. GARCapitalFX.com is our website. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your weekend. Nothing to fear, guys. Just another day in paradise. It's been 5 days of this tank job, and prepare for a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Who knows? Again, whatever. Just be prepared, guys. We'll catch you guys for Monday's morning note. Have a great weekend.